All right, sports fans, how's everybody out there doing? William Martin coming at you one more time here on YouTube with another edition of the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge Podcast. Now, once upon a time, the NFC East was the glamour division of the National Football League, as from 1982 to 1995. 8 Super Bowl titles came from this division. But recently, the NFC East has been a shell of its former self, as the last repeat champion of this division came back in 2004 in the form of the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, there are a lot of questions that you have to ask about this division heading into this upcoming season. And first and foremost, I think that the mediocrity that we have seen from the NFC East in recent years will continue. Remember, last year Washington won this division by just winning 7 games. So I mean, it just lets it doesn't take much, and I think that's going to once again be the case. You look at the New York Giants; are they ready to take the next step? I mean, the Giants only have one playoff appearance since they won their last Super Bowl back in 2011. They have not won a playoff game since the last time that they hoisted the Lombardi Trophy. And for one of the more proud franchises and storied franchises in the National Football League, the Giants head into this year with 4 consecutive double-digit losing seasons. Now, a lot of people like the energy and the attitude and the mantra of Giants head coach Joe Judge. You know, he's kind of an ask no quarter, give no quarter kind of guy in that mold of former Giants head coach Bill Parcells. And, we saw that, where he laid down the law and let people know that it was going to be his way last year as he looks to establish his program with the Giants. But there are a lot of questions for the Giants. First and foremost, Daniel Jones, their quarterback, can he stay healthy? And also, can he take his game to the next level? We've seen Jones deal with injuries in his first 2 years as a Giants starting quarterback. But most importantly, it's all about ball security. Jones tends to force the football and throw costly interceptions, and he doesn't have the pocket presence needed because we've seen too often with Jones, he holds the ball very low in the pocket in his right arm when he's looking to throw. That defender comes around the corner, and it's easy for that defender to pop that ball out. Next thing you know, the defense has the ball, giving it back to their offense. But one thing I will say for Daniel Jones going into this year, this is going to be the first year that he's going to be in the same system in 2 consecutive years with Jason Garrett as the offensive coordinator. On top of that, the Giants had an off season this season. Obviously, due to COVID, that was not the case in 2020. The return of Saquon Barkley from the ACL injury, that's big because as Saquon goes, this Giant offense goes. And I think it's going to be important for the Giants to try to establish a line of scrimmage with their O-line and get Saquon Barkley going because the Giants have talent at wide receiver. But the bottom line is they're going to be better served doing it off of play action. You look at Kenny Galladay. He is arguably one of the faster guys on the Giants. Sterling Shepard continues to be a tremendous slot receiver. A lot of people are high on rookie wide receiver Kadarius Toney out of Florida, and then you have Evan Ingram at tight end. Of course, Ingram has had his fair share of the drops over the years, and the bottom line is Shepard and Galladay have the ability to separate from opposing defenders, but Daniel Jones has to be more accurate with the football. So we're going to see what this team is going to do this year. Will this defense be able to repeat their performance of last year under defensive coordinator Patrick Graham? We saw a lot of physicality from this defense. This D line was able to create pressure. You look at this secondary. The secondary got a lot better. You picked up former Tennessee Titans first round pick Adoree Jackson. James Bradbury really came into his own last year at corner, and you gotta like the Giant safeties and Jabril Peppers and Logan Ryan up front. This unit is led by Leonard Williams and Dexter Lawrence. You have Blake Martinez, who is a solid middle linebacker. But the Giants, for me, for the most part, they're missing that consistent edge rusher from the linebacker position. And I know that Leonard Williams had a big year last year in regards to rushing the passer, but typically with a 3-4 defense, you look for those outside linebackers to wreak havoc. So I think the Giants are going to be in the mix, but just like the rest of the teams in this division, it's all about being consistently inconsistent, which is what I think they're going to be this year. You look at the Dallas Cowboys, who are looking to bounce back. And for Dallas, it all comes back down to the health of quarterback Dak Prescott. We saw Dak, suffer that horrific leg injury last year versus the Giants. But nonetheless, it's a situation with Dak, you know, he really showed his worth by not being there last year because this team went into shambles offensively. Defensively, the Cowboys last year were horrific. And now heading into the season, they have a new defensive coordinator in Dan Quinn. We've seen some upgrades to this Cowboy defense. They used a first round pick on former Penn State linebacker Micah Parsons. He can be all over the field. The one question is for some people, he didn't play in 2020 due to COVID. But you look at the Cowboys, they added former Falcon safety Keanu Neal, and now he's going to play linebacker. So, what are we going to get from Demarcus Lawrence? Is Leighton Vander Esch going to remain healthy? All of these are questions for this Cowboys defense. The Cowboys are going to score points because you look at Ezekiel Elliott at running back, and he predicates what this offense does. But I like what the Cowboys have at wide receiver. And Amari Cooper, CD Lamb, and Michael Gallup says all about will their defense be able to make enough plays. The Washington football team, they're looking to repeat as division champions. And it's all about Fitz magic in DC as Washington picked up veteran quarterback Ryan Fitzpatrick. And, this guy's an ageless wonder. He continues to go out there and get it done. And, Ryan Fitzpatrick is going to give Washington an opportunity to win. Why? Because you look at this defense, most notably Washington's front four with Chase Young, Jonathan Allen, Deron Payne, and Montez Sweat. And we saw what the arrival of Chase Young did last year for this Washington defensive line, which was already good. It made it better. And you know what? You have four guys on this D line for Washington that are relentless in their pursuit of the quarterback. And you know what? You have to account for these guys on every single play. So the bottom line is if you can score 20 points versus Washington this season, you're really going to earn it. And I guarantee you, for all of those fantasy football buffs out there, this defense is probably going to be one of the first defenses that is chosen in fantasy football this season. You look at the Philadelphia Eagles, and they have a new regime as Nick Sirianni is their head coach. All signs point to Jalen Hurts being the starting quarterback in Philly. I expect the Eagles to implement some of the things that Hurts was very comfortable with during his time at Alabama at quarterback. Philly's very talented at running back. You look at Boston Scott and Miles Sanders, and all eyes are going to be on rookie wide receiver Devonta Smith as he looks to make the transition from the college game to the National Football League. You still have Fletcher Cox on this defensive line. The Eagles did sign former Washington outside linebacker Ryan Kerrigan to give them a boost at the pass rusher position. But I think it comes down to what Jalen Hurts can or can't do in the pocket for the Philadelphia Eagles at quarterback. I think at the end of the day, this is a three-team race between Washington, between the Giants, and the Dallas Cowboys. And it's going to come down to coaching. You look at Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy. A lot of people are questioning him after Dallas last year. A lot of people are high on Joe Judge. And you cannot forget about Ron Rivera with this Washington club. I think it also comes down to the play of the quarterbacks. You look at Ryan Fitzpatrick for Washington. You look at Dak Prescott for Dallas. And then you look at Daniel Jones for the Giants. Who's going to be able to elevate their team and help them take their game to the next level? And then, you look at these defenses. The Giants are good on defense. Washington is even better. It's going to be interesting to see how Dallas can try to get their act together on that side of the football. But at the end of the day, for my money, I'm going to take Dallas to win this division just for the simple fact that I think it's going to come down to the quarterback play. And Dak Prescott is the best quarterback in this division. It's all about Dallas keeping him healthy and being able to make enough plays on defense to offset what Dallas can do. If the Cowboys can make sure that Ezekiel Elliott gets anywhere between 200 to 250 touches as a running back this season, it's going to set up so much stuff for their offense because we really were just starting to see what Dak Prescott and CD Lamb could do last year before Dak Prescott suffered the injury. You still have Amari Cooper, and I like how Michael Gallup has the ability to feed off of all of them. I'm just not sold on the consistency of Daniel Jones, a quarterback. For the Giants, which is why I can't go with them to win this division. You look at it, I love Washington's defense, but I'm not sure if they're going to be able to consistently score enough points to offset what their defense is going to do. So it's really going to be interesting to see there. Again, I think mediocrity is going to reign supreme in this division. The NFC East is going to continue to be a one bid division for the postseason. It's going to be up and down for the whole year. Nobody's going to be out of it until the end. You're going to have a play-in scenario for somebody come week 18 this January. But nonetheless, if you want to see some mediocre football, the NFC in 2021 will be the place for you. So, folks, that is going to wrap it up. And as always, I want to take this time out to thank you for tuning into the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast here on YouTube. I want to take the time out to thank all of you fine folks out there for tuning in. And if you have not already, please feel free to subscribe to this channel. Now, if you're on Twitter, please feel free to follow me at 300 Pounds of Sports. And like I always say, if you follow me, it'll be my pleasure to follow you right back. There's also the sports discussion group on Facebook at the Sports Depot 365. You can check it out, drop a line, and be a part of one of the better sports debating sites going on social media. So once again, fine folks, my name is William Martin, signing off, saying take care and have yourselves a wonderful day.